we are going over a trade that I did but day before yesterday for Allen Robinson in our Redux Dynasty draft. We're going to go over the ins and outs of that, the thought process on it, and see what we got going there. What's up, guys? We're also going live on Instagram right meow. And so I'm getting that set up so that people can join us for a chat over there if they pop in. How's it going, Kyle?
Good, man. I been looking forward to doing one of these duo ones again. We haven't done one in a little bit. I was just pulling up Instagram real quick so I can see questions and stuff over there too.
Yeah, no doubt. It does seem like it's been quite some time since we've been on here together streaming. And actually even solo ones, it's been far and few between as of late. Not only has it been just a little bit slow action wise, but we've been really busy working on some other big projects and stuff. So big exciting stuff with an announcement on that coming soon. But
very soon, very soon.
Yes, that's coming up really fast, and we're really excited for it. But it's kind of and that's all happening at a good time. Like I said, it's been really slow lately. I mean, it's off season. Just had the Hall of Fame game last night, which is boring, and you don't really learn anything from it. Preseason
but
games
it's
are just
football.
Boring. But it's football. So it just kind of lends itself to being a slow time. Not much to get on here and chat about without just kind of wasting your time. And we don't want to do that. We want to have a nice quality show. So, but as things pick up, with the season coming up stuff, I mean, we're going to be on here quite often. So
There's not a lot of NFL stuff happening, but there's really not been anything going on in our fantasy leagues. It's been pretty quiet summer for a bunch of dynasty leagues with a bunch of guys that know what's going on and stuff. I guess they've all been busy grinding and things too. So
yeah, there just hasn't been. I mean, you have your draft, you kind of make those trades and stuff, and since it's startup, it's a little bit different. People aren't making quite as many moves to rearrange their team as you would in like a second year or third year. You know, of your dynasty, you're looking to maybe get some more picks in the off season. Your people are retiring, getting older. You're having to make adjustments to the youth on your team for that reason, or adjusting for off season trades that happen. You know, like the Julio trade stuff. So all being a startup and all these dynasty drafts kind of lends itself to a little bit of a slow off season. So not a big deal. It's good for us. It allows us time to work on the other projects we're working on. And yeah, but with that all being said, just did a draft, or I just did a trade, just pulled a trade. So if you follow us on Instagram, you know what that trade is. And I will pull that up now. I'll share my screen here. Let me get this off my screen. Come on. There we go. Okay. So I traded away Aiyuk, Elijah Moore, and Pat Freiermuth, or however you say his name.
I think Freiermuth. I think that's right.
Yeah, something like that. And got back Allen Robinson, Jonnu Smith, and Alexander Madison. I'm not going to lie. I was really hesitant on doing this. And this was done with Corey 2K, and he actually sent the initial offer. He instigated this whole trade, and I feel like I had tried to maybe trade Aiyuk to him at an earlier time or something. I can't remember. I know he's really into youth, and he had originally just sent me Aiyuk and Moore for Allen Robinson, just kind of a straight up 2-for-1. And I like Allen Robinson, but I also really like Aiyuk. And then on top of that, I know Elijah Moore has a lot of upside. And this is before the buzz started coming out about Elijah Moore.
I was going to say, there's been a lot of buzz around him lately. And I think that might have played a small role in how you got Jonnu and Alexander with them.
Yeah, because while we were going back and forth, so Corey was actually on vacation in Yellowstone with his family. So he was kind of far in between going back and forth, and we weren't really able to chat much It was just kind of sending offers back and forth is how that whole negotiation went, which was kind of interesting. But actually, it was like multiple days into this back and forth that Elijah Moore started actually picking up buzz. And so, like you said, that may have played a little bit of a role in getting me some more value for him. But we got to the point where it was like Allen Robinson, Jonnu Smith, and like a 2023 second rounder for Aiyuk and Moore and stuff. And I didn't really want to give up a pick in that deal. I mean, because Aiyuk and Moore, great young talent. Honestly, Aiyuk could perform as well as Allen Robinson this year, if we're being honest. I mean, he could. He could put up those kind of numbers, and he's a lot younger and could put up those kind of numbers for years to come. So that's a hard one for me to just give in because I've been high on Aiyuk. Everyone knows I've been high on Aiyuk all offseason. I like him. And then with Moore getting, the buzz that he's got going on and everyone saying how good he's performing and looking and everything, it's just kind of hard to give up. But getting Jonnu Smith back really helps. I'm pretty big on Jonnu Smith, and I've been kicking myself since this draft because I actually took Freiermuth with Jonnu Smith still on the board, and I don't know why I did that. Because I like Jonnu Smith, so that was kind of silly. But I have reasoning behind this. But before I start really digging deep in here, because I could talk for quite a bit coming up here pretty soon. Kyle, you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I was just laughing because you said you could talk quite a bit. And I'm like, yeah, well.
Very true. Oh, I'm talkative? No, you don't say.
Yeah, no, never. No, I was going to say some of the same things. Jonnu Smith is a great get here. I'm also very high on him. We've talked about that before. It's a good flex play there. But honestly, to me, you're right. I think Brandon Aiyuk, and I'm high on him as well, has the potential to be very good, to be a stud and everything. But Allen Robinson is an established, produce with any quarterback, absolute beast. And he's only 27. So even for Dynasty, he's got a lot of years left. To me, even with the potential of Aiyuk and more, I think this is a no-brainer deal for Allen Robinson.
I agree. Now, something that came into play in my mind also is that I have Trey Lance, and having Lance and Aiyuk together was fun. I was just like, that's kind of cool. Two young players that could be really big studs and growing together there on my team is that's a fun thought. But like you said, when I looked and I was like, oh, he's like 4 years older, Allen Robinson is, but then you just see how old or how long receivers can play. They're not like running backs or anything else. They can play longer. And so, and like you said, he's established. And that, to me, I know what he can produce. And I know what he can produce with horrible quarterback play.
I was going to say, I mean, he's playing on the tag this year, I believe. So it's like he could end up somewhere if he doesn't re-sign. If Fields isn't amazing, he could re-sign somewhere next year with a legit quarterback and be that much better.
Yeah. And if Fields ends up working out, I mean, that works out great.
That works out fine too. So either way,
I feel like a rookie quarterback's going to lean on a stud wide receiver for sure. So
yeah, I think his arrow is definitely pointing up, which is hard for an already top 10 receiver to have room for improvement.
No doubt. So I'm happy with that. That makes him my number 2 receiver because I have Calvin Ridley. So that plays into this too, is the amount of youth, the young wide receiver talent I had on this team allowed me to get rid of some youth. Elijah Moore being a rookie. I have other rookies
you had a lot of rookies.
Gage is young. He's a rookie, but I have Amon St. Brown. Newsome, who knows? Rondale Moore. So I really like Rondale Moore and St. Brown.
Moore and St. Brown those are two.
So having those two, and I drafted them all kind of right there together. I had a string in the middle of the draft where I think I drafted those all pretty close to each other. Like Rondale Moore got 14-10. I might have taken St. Brown a little bit earlier than them. 16-1. Really? I took St. Brown that much later? That's interesting. And Elijah Moore, I took him at 15-4. The reason you
got all of them was because all those picks were between my picks. Because I had a gap, and you hit all of these in that gap.
Yes, actually, that's very true. So, and then I got Daz Newsome just in the free agency after. He's kind of a dart throw. So I've got some really good youth here. So being able to give up Elijah Moore and Brandon Aiyuk, I could afford it. It doesn't hurt that my number one wide receiver is Calvin Ridley. Also another young stud. So my 1-2 punch there at wide receiver. I mean, really, this team is looking pretty sexy. If I'm being honest, I'm really liking it. I mean, my number 3 running back is Najee Harris right now. So, and my number 2 wide receiver is Allen Robinson, and then that makes for some good depth on my bench. So, I mean, my number 3 wide receiver is Julio Jones, and then I've got this youth on here that's really going to come into play. So I'm liking how my roster is looking in here a lot. My weakest point is probably my defense, and it's weak to me in the sense that it's not youthful at all. I have a bunch of very seniored vets. I mean, there's some old guys on there, but they're still performing. But in Dynasty League, they're not youthful at all. So, but overall, I think I'm going to perform and I'm going to compete very well, very, very well.
Yeah, I think so too. And like we were talking before we got on, like I've been a little bit slow to trade so far this year. So my team's looking more sexy after the Cam Akers hit. But I just want to throw this out there. I do have Justin Fields. If you really like those stacks, I'm just toss that out there.
But I have Trey Lance. I don't really. I took Lance over Fields.
I know, but that was before you had Allen Robinson. I'm just saying
that's also true. So I'm wanting to dig a little deeper into some of my thought process what I was looking into when making this deal. What's up, Flo Joe? Falcons Drip. How's it going, guys? So I have my rankings and stuff here. I know we've already talked about I could afford to give up the youth. That's not hurting me very much because of the other youth on my roster. But I'm going to come over here into like rankings that I was looking at. So I was using Fantasy Pros, of course. You guys know me. That's my go-to. And so just looking at some Dynasty PPR rankings here. And I always like to look at the overall. It's always kind of fun too. You can look like Allen Robinson's 31 overall Dynasty player. That's pretty high. And then if you look, Aiyuk's down at 42. That's actually not a huge gap. So, but it's a little bit of a bump. And if I come over here, just wide receivers, again, you're gonna be able to see it's not a huge bump. I mean, Allen Robinson's at 12, Aiyuk's at 20. So, and I would actually, in some of these, I would actually put Aiyuk maybe 2 more higher. I actually think I like Aiyuk better than I like Evans or Higgins personally. So, it's not a huge bump, but something else comes into play here, and it's respect. So, Allen Robinson, the amount of respect he's going to get in a trade deal is so much higher than Aiyuk right now. I was asking someone else in another one of our leagues, like, what do you think of Aiyuk? And they were like, well, he's a solid wide receiver too. And I'm like, that's interesting. Like, to me, that's sure, kind of, but when you look at Allen Robinson, now people are like, oh, he's a solid wide receiver 1. So you're getting more trade value for a later deal with an Allen Robinson. And someone like Elijah Moore right now is bringing me pretty much no trade value, right? Like, no one's actually going to put great value on Moore. Yeah, he's getting buzz and stuff, but there's still a limitation to the amount of trade value you're going to get there. And so this really kind of capitalized just on that buzz. because Elijah Moore could still end up being nothing. So I was just trying to capitalize off that buzz, because Elijah Moore, like if you're in here, let me just do a search and save some scrolling. Elijah Moore's down at 42, which is fairly high.
It's not as low as I thought it'd be.
Yeah, same. But Rondale Moore is at 48. You know, you've got, let's see where St. Brown is at. That's it. He's at 58. That's actually kind of surprising that he's that low. Newsom, I'm not even going to look for. He's going to be way down here. Russell Gage, Manuel Sanders is at 94. Daz Newsom at 140. Yeah. So, not really worthwhile there. But I've got Julio Jones too. I mean, he's at 29. I mean, he's old, but he's usable. So like overall, I'm getting an upgrade here in dynasty ranks. And then if we go to draft rankings, then it's going to be the same thing. I mean, we'll go to wide receiver here. Allen Robinson's at 10th overall for the season, and Aiyuk's down here at 23. So I'm getting a bump there. And Julio Jones is all the way up at 16. So overall, I'm coming out ahead this season for sure. And I'm actually looking pretty good over in Dynasty too. But I'm getting a good boost for this season. I feel like. I mean, now I have 3 wide receivers in the top 16. One's going to be sitting my bench and rotating in. Julio Jones will just sit there on my bench and rotate in on bye weeks and injuries. What's up, Piggy? What's up, Seven? How's it going, fellas? So, I mean, I'm sitting in a pretty good spot there with 3 really solid wide receivers and 3 really solid running backs. My hardest thing with this team is going to figure out who to play in my flex every week. Like, that's going to be the hardest decision I have to make. So that's hard to complain about.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have.
Absolutely. And then we can come over here into tight end rankings. Now, we're still into the draft. We're not talking about dynasty right here. I have the number 1 overall with Travis Kelce on my team. And then Jonnu Smith is down here at number 15. And I would argue, I think I like Jonnu Smith more than Gesicki.
Yeah, I do too.
And then, yeah, I'm not sure I'm super high on Gesicki. Tanyan's gonna have to prove me wrong. These need to be updated probably, because I was high on Goddard, and now I've got him lowering down because of Ertz being around. So this could probably move around a little bit, but he's probably close to that 15 range. That's fine. I'll take that. And then I traded Freiermuth, who is there. He is down here at 44.
Which is really low on tight ends.
Yes. I mean, and granted, this isn't Dynasty, so his Dynasty rank is going to be much better, right? So let's head over to Dynasty ranks real quick and see where he's at. This is more realistic. I mean, that's why I drafted him, is for the Dynasty aspect of him, because I think he has good potential there. Jonnu coming in at 12 there, more realistic, kind of over Thomas. He's probably not far behind Tanyan, Gesicki. They're in the same tier. So they're kind of interchangeable in there. Freiermuth's up at 21. So he cuts that ranking in half there, which makes sense. So as of right now, that's where he's at. So either way, I got to upgrade there too. So I upgraded wide receiver. Whoa, my Instagram just went haywire on me over here. My phone stand fell over. That was wild. That's what that big bang was. So I flashed a desk.
There's a slight delay. I just watched it happen on Instagram.
Jeez, man, it just came flying at me. That was insane.
It was this absurd statement that Seven just made that threw it off of the desk. Robert Tonyan top 5 2021.
Oh,
I disagree. I very much disagree.
7 looking more like a 17 over here. I don't know.
You're entitled to your wrong opinion. No.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that, because I don't know that he's going to finish higher. I mean, you've got Kelce, Kittle, Waller, probably Pitts, Hawkinson, Andrews. like he's going to have to top at least one of those. And I would even say that Irv Smith has a chance to be a lot higher than he. I don't see Tanyan breaking in the top 5. That is a hot take. That's a hot potato that I'm not hanging on to right there. But I appreciate the hot take. So where was I going with that before my phone flew at me? Oh, that's right. So I upgraded at wide receiver. I upgraded tight end. And then it kind of comes down to Elijah Moore and Madison. And so thought process there is that Madison is a great handcuff. I don't have Cook, but he's a great person to have in case Cook gets hurt. But he's also trade bait. I thought about going. I initially offered Jalen Rager for Philly.
Pretty sure it's Rager.
Okay, Rager. I initially offered him in the deal, and then I immediately modified it for Madison. Rager, I think, could be really good this year, but I don't need the wide receiver. I don't need another wide receiver in return. And I figured he might actually give up Madison easier than Rager. So for me, though, I think I have more trade power with Madison in trading him away as a handcuff to the owner of Dalvin Cook. So I'm going to explore that 100% because there's a little value there. If for some reason I can't trade him away, then fine. I've got one of the best handcuff situations in the NFL. So, I mean, I feel like I got some pretty decent value there. Then again, I could have given away some good value in Elijah Moore, possibly. But that's the highest value I'm going to get off of Elijah Moore right now.
And well, unless he is actually a kind of a beast, then he'll
right now. That's the highest value I can
get. Like preseason value, yeah, that's the best you're gonna do.
What's up, Flojo? Yeah, it's the highest value I can get right now for Elijah Moore. And so I just kind of bounced on it because right now it's just a bunch of unknowns, and usually that holds up a lot of trades about right now is everyone drafted their team. There's a lot of potential there, especially with rookies, and people are nervous to give up players based on potential. And so they kind of cling to those players based on that potential, and it holds up a lot of stuff. And in getting Allen Robinson back, I couldn't let that potential hold that back, I feel like. Because even Allen Robinson, like I said, that name brings me a lot more trade power too. So a lot of this, I like the players. If I get stuck with the players, I'm happy with it. If I want to do a trade, I feel like I have some good trade power there with them. So I like this trade overall because of that. Flojo's asking what the trade is, and I'm disappointed you had to ask that, but I feel like I've been advertising it so good on Instagram, bro. Anyways, I traded away Brandon Aiyuk, Elijah Moore, and at Freiermuth for Allen Robinson, Jonnu Smith, and Alexander Madison. So upgraded at wide receiver and tight end, and then pretty much traded Elijah Moore and Madison for Madison. So, yeah, I like the deal. I mean, I lose out on some youth, but that's about it.
Meanwhile, Corey 2K continues to cling to every young receiver in the league.
Yeah, definitely not a win now thing. But again, he got Aiyuk
But he's got like 4 or 5 really stud young got like it's insanity.
Yeah, he's gonna be something to mess with or to deal with later on. I mean, his roster, his running backs could, if most is his number 2, that's risky. Who else he got? Oh my gosh. That's oh, never mind. He's doing fine at running back. But yeah, look at this youth on his roster. I mean, Jonathan Taylor, Aiyuk, Lamb. Let's get down here.
I was trying to sell the farm to get Chase from him.
Etienne, Williams, Rager, even Chase. Dude, how does he have all of these? Elijah Moore. He has like all of the best rookies and youth in there. What's up, analyst? How's it going, man?
I like
Thanks
that.
for joining us, bud. Yeah, so he's got a ton of youth on there and good youth. It's not just that he's collecting youth; he's collecting good young talent. So he's going to be something to deal with in the future. I feel like he's got Deshaun Watson on his bench. Probably not going to play this year, I don't think. But he's got Matt Stafford to get him through this season. But next year, look out, and that team's going to be disgusting because his defense looks pretty good too.
I need to get on here and go shopping. I need to go trade shopping.
Yeah, you need to go trade shopping hard. So, anyways, that's kind of where I'm sitting on that trade deal right there. I am trying to shop and get some other trades going because once I get new pieces, I want to play with them. I've got some shiny new toys. There's Flo Joe. He's coming over here and look at it. Like, in a dynasty, it's a fair deal. He says, leaning his side just a bit though. Yeah, with the youth on that. Or you saying you're leaning that because I traded for Robinson? Are you saying that that's the side that probably wins that? Flo Joe.
He says A-Rob is a beast, so I'm guessing, yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing he's siding with it. He likes the side who got Allen Robinson, which is me. I got Allen Robinson on that. Yeah, so yeah, again, that makes Allen Robinson my number 2 wide receiver, and I'm super happy with that. Oh, he's saying he liked the other side a bit better because you get younger with it.
He's looking at okay, yeah.
At the youth.
He's got it backwards. Yeah, we got Robinson. You got Robinson. Yeah. Gave up.
Yeah, we got Robinson, Smith, and Madison. But again, because I have that other youth on my bench that I was able to draft, Calvin Ridley as my number 1 and still super young. I'm cool. I'm cool with that. I feel like I got that. And again, really, it's trade power. So
yeah, I mean, I'm not a hard line young guy only dynasty player either.
Yeah.
I've never been that way when I play dynasty. Like you need a good kind of mix. I mean, if you go all young, that's not always going to work out for you. But
yeah.
So, I giving up Aiyuk to get Robinson. I mean, it's a 4-year difference, but Robinson is still like prime of his career for another 3-4 years at least. So, yeah, I like that move a lot. I like getting Allen Robinson.
Well, and there's a lot of, I mean, I like Aiyuk. Don't get me wrong. I love some Aiyuk. Again, I've touted him all off season, but there's also a lot of doubt with Debo and Kittle coming back. I mean, people are kind of doubting, like, can he repeat that performance? I think so. I think he's going to be just fine. In fact, he might even be a little bit more open, maybe less targets, but he'll be maybe better targets. So, and if once Trey Lance steps in, I think it looks even better for him. So
yeah, once Trey Lance takes over, that team's gonna be gross.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be sick when Trey Lance, because I've watched a lot of like videos from him in camp right now, and he looks great, man. And apparently the team really likes him. I mean, he's the future there, and Garoppolo should be nervous.
Also, whenever Mostert inevitably gets hurt and Sermon takes over, that'll help the team too, I think.
Yeah, that team's going to be young and good. So, anyways, Flojo, thanks for joining in here, man. That was nice. So, anyways, that's where I'm at on that. I don't really have much else to say. That was just kind of my thought process on all that. Is just to kind of recap. I got the better player and the overall better player in the trade. You want to get the best player in the trade, right? But I feel like I also upgraded at tight end. So I upgraded in 2. I feel like. So upgraded there. They were the higher ranked. And sometimes ranking doesn't matter. I try not to go by ranking too much, but that was just some confirmation bias going over there of, yeah, this fits what I'm thinking and feeling, right? So confirmation bias that the rankings were higher. So I did improve. And then again, the trade power that I acquired here, Allen Robinson just has more trade power than Brandon Aiyuk and or Elijah Moore. So the trade power I get there is high. Same with Madison. I have a little bit of, I have some trade power with him to the Dalvin Cook guy. And if that ends up not being the case, then I keep him and I have a great handcuff there. So I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
only thing I'm
you
gonna
accomplish with that trade what you need to accomplish for your roster in getting the, you're built to win now, 100% built to win now. And he is clearly, like, he accomplished exactly what he needed to accomplish for his, too. He's building towards the future. Aiyuk is a perfect building block for that.
100%.
So you both got exactly what you needed to fit your roster. And that's, I mean, how a good trade should work out. So
100%. Yeah, that's
well
why
done.
it was so good. I mean, we were both very happy by the end of it. And I think we went back and forth. I would say, I mean, we probably each sent 4 different offers apiece back and forth, maybe 5, and we just got closer and closer each time, tried different things, and next thing you know, it was just hit accept. Like it was pretty easy because it was pretty easy to tell what both people wanted in the deal.
Right.
And for me, it was just finding that third player that he was willing to give back.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a really level-headed deal. No one was trying to take advantage of the other. I still felt a little uncomfortable with it, which makes me know that it's probably pretty even in the deal. I wasn't just like, yes, please. Like when I sent that deal, I was still like, am I getting the full amount that I want for Aiyuk and Elijah Moore right now, especially with that buzz going on with Moore at the time? I don't know. I was nervous about it. I'm still a little nervous that maybe I miss out with Elijah Moore now. Maybe I just gave up 2 really good young stud wide receivers and may have screwed up for the future. But for right now,
and see,
pays off this year.
That's where I look at trades too, and I'm like, okay, if I'm giving up a little bit more to get what I want, what I need, I'm okay with that generally.
Yep.
Unless I'm just getting completely robbed, which hardly happens. But, I'm okay giving up just a little bit more, maybe not maximizing 100% of what you could get for somebody just to get what I want, what needs to be on my team.
Yep. Yep. I agree. Yeah. And again, it wasn't like Allen Robinson was someone I was after. I don't have stock of him anywhere else. It's the only team I have him on. I wasn't targeting him, but when I got the initial offer from Corey, I was just thinking like it's a step up. And so and me being me, and I know you understand it because you're the same way. And I have some lag going on in my video, and it's so annoying. I stopped sharing my screen so that would stop, and it's still happening. So I'm annoyed.
Still trying to catch up from that, but
yeah. But I know you're the same way. One move is kind of just a stepping stone to your next move, and that's kind of what I'm thinking here is it's one step up. It's like the old kid who traded a paperclip, ended up with like a house kind of thing.
Right.
Kind of the same thing.
You never make one like standalone deal. It's always thinking forward to the next thing.
Yep. So it was just like, okay, I can get Allen Robinson and even Madison. I kind of want to hang on to Jonnu, if I'm being honest. So I'm not looking at him as I'm not looking at him as a trading piece. Allen Robinson, Madison are good pieces. So that's what I'm looking at them as. It's a step up. And again, if I can't trade them, then I've also got some really good talent.
We may end up talking about Allen Robinson at some point.
Yeah. Just depends on how that looks. The issue that I have in that league right now, what I'm running into is especially like my running backs. Typically, I'm looking to upgrade a running back or something like that in a deal. And it's really hard because I love all 3 of my running backs. Like they're target running backs for me. And so I don't have much space to move with them, and it's with Derrick Henry, Najee Harris, and Austin Eckler. I don't know. I just love that so much. And it's hard to like move up from that or move away from that. And that's typically where I'd be looking to maybe move like Allen Robinson for something. It just depends, on what's going on there. But yeah, we can probably explore something. Who knows? Maybe we'll do another stream of us figuring out a trade there with Allen Robinson.
Maybe if we can figure out something you need that I have.
Yeah.
I mean, I have Cooper. Like I know you like Cooper.
I know. I don't know what that kind of deal looks like. You also have Metcalf. Maybe I want to step up to Metcalf. You don't know. You don't know how this works.
Better be a pretty good offer from Metcalf.
Gonna have to be a good offer for Allen Robinson.
Not Metcalf good, it won't.
but again, I mean, Allen Robinson, again, like the trade interest for Allen Robinson is a lot higher even than it is for Aiyuk. People are like high on Aiyuk, but people aren't seeking him out because he's still not that viewed as that wide receiver one. People are still a little unsure about him, so he's not like someone that people are seeking out for a deal. Whereas Allen Robinson, people are like, "Ooh, I might want to trade for Allen Robinson." So that's kind of the opportunity I pounced on with that deal.
Yeah.
So that's all I got on that.
All right, man. Well, let's I guess let's call it a night. And
yep, that's a short stream for us, which is probably a good thing. So
yeah, we didn't have as many people jump in the chat as I thought we would. I'm glad FloJo and Seven stopped by for a second there. That was nice.
Yep. Probably just a busy night, being a Friday night. People are.
It is. People are out and about. We don't even stream on Fridays anyway, so
no, it's an odd night for us to stream, but it's one of the only nights we've had available to stream. We've been really busy again, working on big projects, collaboration projects, and things of that sort. Guys, be looking forward to that. That announcement is coming up very, very soon, and we're excited for it. So stay tuned for that. Tell your friends, hide your kids, hide your wife.
We're advertising everybody out here.
Yeah. So anyways, that's coming up. Thanks for joining us tonight, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Have a good night.